Hello and welcome to Dukas Copy TV. I'm Andrew Sachs-McLeod from LeapRate, and this is the Forex Industry Talk Show with Luis Sanchez.
Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Luis. Nice to see you.
See you
Luis
again.
is Chief Executive Officer of BMFN. Also joined by Noam Stikimer, Marketing Director of BMFN. Hi, Noam.
Nice, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
And Patrick Uhrer, Chief Executive Officer of Unitrader. Hi, Patrick.
Hi, Andrew. Thanks for having us.
It's a pleasure. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
So today we're going to talk about challenges in managing a sales team.
Interesting topic. When you ask yourself, what is one of the biggest challenges you have to, or decisions you have to make when you have a sales team? For me, one of is like who to promote. When you have to make a decision, I need to promote somebody of my team, which person is going to be? Is going to be time versus results? Is he going to be a good boss? He's a good sales. If I promote him, can he do the job? Can he be a leader or not? This sales has been here for 10 years, but this one has 1 year and he needs more results. So the evaluation of this combination, it is something that put us in our position to say, how are we going to choose this?
I think that's cool because if you think about it, that mentality within the actual structure of the company is starting to become more prevalent. For example, as the Forex industry has matured a bit more now on the retail side, in the initial days, nobody was thinking about who they should promote. They're thinking about recruit. They get a CEO and a sales manager who will stay there for the whole time in those positions, and they're thinking about who they can recruit and not and let go from the sales team. It was very static. Now the corporate hierarchy is changing from within the companies more so, right?
Correct.
Yeah, I think the market has shown that, in particular, online sales is very competitive, and salespeople need to be motivated. And it's not only their monetary motivation; they also need to know that they have a possibility to grow up, to make career, be recognized, and be valued. I mean, I figured out managing sales teams throughout 15 different countries. It is also a cultural issue. Some people, they need a little bit more of this,
all the time,
and the other a little more of that.
Very true.
Yeah.
So having a good sales team, I think it's very essential for a brokerage company, because at the end of the day, this is where the money comes in.
Yeah.
And it's true. I mean, it's not only financial recognition. I mean, they have to have a personal motivation.
Yeah.
For example, I believe that, let's say, I give you a special task. From tomorrow, we're going to have daily webinars. So your project is going to be, you're going to manage these webinars. It's going to be your baby. You're going to create it. You have to coordinate with all the different departments. It's under you. So you give this person the possibility and the proudness to develop himself in a new project.
Correct. It's a responsibility.
So, but what about micromanagement? Is that a thing of the past, you think? Because, you know, if I go think about 20 years ago or so, when you'd go into one of these head offices of an electronic trading company, you have 10 floors of call centers. Yeah. What they used to do was have a desk with 6 or 7 salespeople on one side, 6 or 7 on the other, and the manager at the front, and the manager's
monitoring everything.
Monitoring everything. Manager would sit there monitoring everything, the pie chart on the screen. Even, believe it or not, how long you've been in the bathroom.
But listen, you're speaking about, from micromanagement, as Patrick said, online sales.
Well, there is a certain requirement on control. That's for sure. However,
human nature.
I've been coming away from micromanaging, because you have an accountant who can do cost control, or who can do the control, who works how much. I mean, it's a simple call.
But surely it impedes,
our business.
The micromanagement impedes the
Absolutely.
of the sales
technology has eliminated a lot of the need for people to be involved in different procedures, different sections of the sales funnel.
Yeah.
And in essence, what it is today is, you know, if you think about old school brokerage firms, you know films like Boiler Room and all those spider things, you have these blokes on the phone, right? Old fashioned. The same thing. You had your little sales manager. Or supervisor, if you would call that. Today, it's exactly the same thing, except we've got a whole bunch of technology behind us that's tracking things like conversions. There's a whole system.
That's true.
But we're still doing the basics, and the business is as basic as that.
Well, you actually need the human interaction. You have to be the human side.
Yeah, but if you leave room to salespeople to develop themselves, the result is in the most cases better.
I agree.
And
I
at the
agree
end of the day,
totally.
it's simple to track because our business number talks. So if you see the performance
Yes,
at the end of the
this
month,
is part as well of the culture and the vision of the company transmitted to your employees.
That's true.
Exactly. Some
Because I
companies,
see
yeah.
other companies that people don't have this freedom, sales don't have this freedom
Yeah.
to think
Yeah.
and
Put your hand up
do
to go to the
themselves.
toilet, exactly.
They have to be
Right.
controlled. I mean,
Yeah.
you do this, and don't get out of
that's
the
true.
scope.
The
That's
problem
true.
with that
Not
is
all
that-
sales can handle, let's say,
Right.
a way where they
Some
have.
sales needs. The other day I was speaking with somebody. He told me, "No, listen, I need a boss who controls me. I need a
Yeah.
boss who tells me what I'm doing. I need a boss to motivate me." So
Right.
it's a difference.
If you've got someone who's very, very effective at their job, and then they are limited by a micromanagement system, they won't value their position as much. They'll consider it effectively an anodyne thing to have to go and do each day,
Right.
and will just not value. Whereas if you take that away and give, as you say, enough of the technological aids and enough ability to do the job without so many restrictions, a responsible salesman will be able to produce much more revenue for the company.
Yes.
And they be creative. That's true.
and they will feel themselves entrepreneurs, that they're having
They will. They'll
Feel part
value
of the
the
business.
part of the
Exactly.
business. That's right. That's
They'll
the
own the
it's thanks
position.
to them.
And then it
results-
becomes a profession and not just a call
Exactly.
center,
Right.
which has been a long traditional way of doing things in our industry anyway.
But the question is
Yeah.
really as well the setup of the sales structure and is there a sales culture? But if it is a call center, I still believe
another thing.
a manager is needed because first of all, you need to train people and you need
Yes.
to also to listen and correct them what they're saying. So I wouldn't say that is micromanaging.
But you still have to
but
manage.
You still have to be there and you need to support them because otherwise they will not able to fly by themselves after a
Listen,
certain
call
time.
center calling is not an easy job.
It is
No,
not.
it's not an easy job.
It is
And
not,
you have to
yeah.
be there
That's
to
right.
make them feel, I mean, okay.
What
go
I
ahead.
tell
But it's not just that, we're selling
salespeople-
financial products here, people. We're not selling language learning CEs or
We're
sites.
selling a highly technological online product
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
has risks.
And you work with people's money, so it's a skilled person, which has to be working these positions. People sitting in a call center, I mean, the word call center, in your mind, you think of these people that just sit with these little
The headset,
headphones and
yeah.
things. Even in a call center environment, obviously there's going to be a manager, especially when working financial instruments. It's not just so much the calls and the numbers, it's also making sure that things that are being said are
That you
correct.
don't mislead information.
Misleading information, exactly. But the fact that it's called call center doesn't exactly mean that that's what's happening. You can still have this environment where we encourage this, for instance, where people own their position. It's a
Yes.
career. It's something they can grow
Right,
into.
and they probably have more. If you do that, they'll grow with the company, have more chance to be promoted to sales manager and
Yeah.
so forth.
Higher
Even
positions.
part
And
of
then
the
we came
actual
back to the
leadership
initial
team.
stage.
Right, that's right.
Well,
But the motivation is really a key factor because just think about a situation you're doing calls all day long, and some days are you do better, and some days you do worse. So the manager's duty is, of course, to keep them also motivated because it's what I tell salespeople. Before you start and dial your number, leave your emotions at home
Yeah.
because you got a lot of unhappy clients or potential clients that are telling you all kind of different things you don't want to hear. And
Right.
I would say the art of doing a great sales is afterwards you have to shake it off and you have to focus on the next call.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you
One at
still
a
with your
time.
head in that other call where you got not nice words maybe to hear, then you cannot do a successful sale.
Right. You know what I've noticed about that is that there are, having been to the offices of so many companies over the years to see the internal operations, you can see that there's a correlation between a company that has a calm, technologically advanced sales process and sales funnel, which has, as Noam said, the technological aspect is part of the sales funnel, and the sales professional is able to have a relationship with the clients, really encourage the client. There are two factors with that. One, the client stays longer, and that's important because it's very expensive to get clients these days.
Yes.
$900 at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you have the salesman stays in his job longer, which means you have less human resource costs.
Yeah.
And you have a more professional person who knows what he's doing because he's been with the company a long time.
Yeah.
If you then go to a company where the sales floor is a lot of shouting and they're just looking for first-time deposits and everyone's screaming on the phone at the customers, not only do they have much less results, but the employees come and go every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the nature
That's
of the
how it is.
business.
Yeah.
That's there is a high fluctuation, of course,
There
but I
is,
believe
yeah.
we also have to differentiate between an acquisition team and a retention team.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the retention goes much more into relationship and build up, whereas an acquisition team is really just focused to open a client and get the first deposits.
That's right. That's
So
right. It's
not
the approach to
everyone,
how they do it.
and not everyone can handle this situation because
right.
it is not easy. It's a tough world.
It
So
is. It is.
being on the phone and being successful over a longer period requires a lot.
Yeah, and you have to round that up. You have just to kind of finish that off. There's another factor where you have. There is one company at least I can think of that has no sales team at all. Plus 500.
Exactly.
No
Correct.
sales team.
Yeah.
They onboarded 33,000 new customers in the first 3 months of this year, and they got their acquisition costs down. Made 82 million in revenue.
So imagine
That's
from
astonishing.
micro to online to no
To
sales.
no sales,
no sales,
exactly.
yeah.
So we'll that's very interesting indeed, and we'll certainly focus a little bit more on that. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Andrew Sachs-McLeod from LeapRate. This is Dukas Copy TV. You've been watching the Forex Industry Talk Show. See you again next week. Goodbye.